Hey guys, Engineer Wannabe here. Today I'm going to be doing a state of the collection, and as such I am not wearing a wristwatch right now. Just did a live stream. It is March, what's the date? March 13th? March 13th today, and this is going to be my current state of the collection. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Not gonna waffle too much, but we'll talk about the pieces while we go through it. Hopefully this will be not a lot of cuts, not a lot of editing, and I can just post it up and it'll be good. But yeah, I'm gonna try and organize this in an order where from least to most worn. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do that seamlessly. But to start off, this is my least worn piece. This is the Casio G-Shock GWB 5600 AR-1. I'm surprised I remembered that, but that's what it is. I had this in my previous state of the collection. The last state of the collection I did was February of 2020. That was just before the pandemic. Things were a bit fluid, I suppose, in my collection, and I am ashamed to say that I barely have any of the watches that I had back then. So be forewarned if you saw that one. Most of those watches don't make a comeback here, except for this one and my next one. Of course, just to tell you where I use this while I do odd jobs around the house, maintenance on my car, mow the lawn, things like that. Basically the way a G-Shock was intended to be used, and it looks brand new still. Not a scuff or a dent on it. Looks great. I really like the light on this guy. It makes it look pink in at nighttime, but the red dial, or the red display, is really cool. Red negative display makes it look like a very aggressive watch. So I really like this particular G-Shock. So I'm not sure how this will work out, but hey, that's least worn, and this side will be most worn. Moving on, we have this guy. This is a Seiko SRP. I'm not going to remember this reference number, but SRPC. This is the Fuyugeshiki. I'll throw up a little annotation with the actual reference number, but this was my wife's watch, and she does not wear it too often, so it's kind of in my collection now. But it's a 34 millimeter piece. It doesn't get worn too often, and my wife wears it every once in a while. I like how it feels and wears. My wife has put its own wear on it. I don't know how she's done this, but it's a Hardlex crystal. It has gashes, deep gashes on the crystal. I suspect it's because of the granite countertop that we have. It probably took chunks off the crystal. It does not look very good, but this is another one of those enduring pieces in my collection. I can't sell it. I bought it for my wife's and my anniversary, so that is one that I cannot get rid of, or I do not wish to get rid of. All right, moving on. Let's see here. What's next? I guess it would be my vintage King Seiko. This is more of a recent purchase. It was an interesting story when I got this. It was on a local classifieds website, kind of like Craigslist, but it's called Kijiji here in Canada. So it popped up. I've been eyeing this particular model for a while, and as you can see, this one is in excellent shape. I kind of almost missed out on it, but I didn't. There's a video in my past videos about how I came to own this guy. So really thrilled with it. I took the case back off. Everything looks great. This is one of the quirky pieces I rarely wear, but I do thoroughly enjoy it when I do wear it. And there's a bit of patina, or I guess corrosion, happening right there on the dial, right in the corner there. I guess it tends to happen with these models. And this used to be a silver dial, but it has a champagne-y look now, just from age, I'm guessing. But really thrilled with this. I mean, look at those lines, look at those edges. For you know, for a watch from 1966, I am really thrilled with it. Grateful to have it. Next up, let's see, it would be this guy. No knock on this watch. It's just a watch that I don't tend to pick up too often. I guess at this point I'm getting to the watches I wear quite frequently, and this is no exception. I do wear this quite frequently, maybe once every 2 weeks, for a couple of days at a time. This is the Grand Seiko SBGX 259. I should mention the reference number on this guy. This is the King Seiko, or the Seiko 449990. So this is the SBGX 259. It is the white dialed 9F quartz movement, really crispy clean, absolutely stunning. Everything is almost perfect. I mean, it is perfect. I can't find any imperfection on this under a loop or otherwise. So it does get its fair share of wear. Fair share of wear. That's pretty good. So yeah, a very basic piece. There's not a lot to say about it. Zaratsu polishing is excellent. Excellent. And it's part of my Grand Seiko trilogy. Okay, moving on. Next least worn piece, I guess, would be this guy. So this is the Aorus Big Crown Pro Pilot. This I like to call is the blurple dial, so blue and purple. And this does not have the applied indices, but it does have a big date. It's not a literal big date, or it's not a big date complication. It's just a date, but it's a bigger date. I really enjoy this this bracelet. It seems like it would taper very well, or sorry, the bracelet would collapse instantly, but it does not. So it does wear a little big, but for a 41, I think it wears kind of like a 41. So as you would expect. There it is on my 6¼ inch wrist. I didn't try the other watches on, so apologies about that. But yeah, it wears big, but it's a pilot's watch, and I think it should be, you know, it should wear like that. So I don't mind the way it looks on my wrist, and I do really enjoy it. So that is the Aorus Big Crown Pro Pilot. Next up. This is my most recent purchase. And I have worn it quite a bit, so it's kind of unfair to put it in this spot. But if I were to anticipate me owning this, and I don't think I'll sell this, but I don't think so. You know, I don't think I'll sell this. So don't you know, 100% quote me on that, because I tend to be a flipper, not for profit, but a flipper because I do sell a lot of my pieces, or trade a lot of my pieces for content for the channel, of course. But yes, this is the Aorus Clean Ocean, Aorus Aquis Clean Ocean, 39.5 millimeters. I've done a review on this because this is a rebuy. I bought this in 2019, I think around September of 2019 I purchased this, and I sold it. I actually wore this watch to my son Luca's birth. It was an accident in the sense that I picked this up. My son came a month early, and this was the watch that was in my bedside table. On my bedside table, I picked it up, put it on, drove to the hospital. I intended to wear, you know, something really special, or, you know, really special. But this was the watch that I wore, not this specific one. But this was the Clean Ocean was the watch that I wore. I sold it. I really shouldn't have, but I sold it to make room, or to get the Zenith El Primero, I believe. If I go back in my memory banks, that is what I think happened. But yeah, I got the opportunity to buy this again, and I jumped on it. So This is the Aorus Aquas Clean Ocean. I should show you guys the case back. So it's got a bit of purple, got a bit of green, got a bit of blue. That, of course, the story behind that is it's reclaimed plastic from the ocean that's been turned into a block of plastic and in turn turned into a medallion to go on the case back. Next up, the Tudor Royal. This is a really fun piece. I had the steel and gold model first, and then I moved on because my wife really didn't enjoy that piece. It was a bit too blingy for her tastes, and I sold it. A few months later this came in, and I managed to snag it, and turns out this is her favorite piece now. So it's funny how that works out. So the Tudor Royal with the Sellita SW200, I believe, or yeah, it's got the, you know, the blue dial, integrated bracelet, stainless steel sports watch cliche going on, but I think this is different, and it's really exciting. I really like this engine turn bezel. I didn't like it at first. I thought it looked better in the gold, but as time goes on, you know, I'm really warming up to this. It's a really beautiful blue dial. I really like the brushing. It's a very deep brushing, and I like the shade of blue as well. So this is the Tudor Royal 38mm. I'll throw it on my wrist as well. So it's a little big on my wrist. It wears a little bigger, I guess around the 38mm mark. That's my 6 1/4 inch wrist again. So I really enjoyed the Tudor Royal, and yeah, don't care what you guys say. It's a great watch. No, I'm just joking. I care about what you guys say, but you know, I bought that for me. Next up, coming up to my favorite pieces. This is the Grand Seiko SBGJ 201. I put it on a crocodile strap right now, but this is a high beat GMT. So it's got the thermally blued GMT hand there, and it's truly stunning. This has got the Iwate dial, beautiful Iwate dial. I could stare at it forever. Amazing finishing. I love the 44 GS case shape. I mean, look at that. This is really something else. Just, I mean, look at the angles and the cuts and the facets, and just amazing. The movement is pretty remarkable. It's a high beat movement, so 10 ticks per second, 36,000 vibrations per hour. Beautiful. I mean, it's adequate finishing. I think it looks really nice, but nothing groundbreaking, nothing jaw-dropping, but everything else here is jaw-dropping. It's kind of thick. It's a thicker piece, as you can tell, but not too bad. It does wear a bit slimmer than it looks, slimmer than it seems on paper, and slimmer than it looks as well. So, Grand Seiko SBGJ 201. Running out of room here. Last but not least, my favorite watch of all time, and I am honored to say that I own it. It's the SBGY 003. Now this is the manual wound spring drive 20th anniversary limited edition. So it's got that beautiful cocktail time style dial. I actually did not enjoy this in pictures, but when I saw it in person, it became a whole other thing to me, and I was really fortunate to be able to get it. It is amazingly thin for a spring drive watch. Really thin. I think it's 11.2, and it's got this spring drive movement. It's not pretty, but what it is, it has been done well. So what decoration it has been done really well. But yeah, it's not the most beautiful movement. It's kind of a I call it a beautiful mess. So yeah, it's nice, but it's messy. Yeah, I'll take that any day. Beautiful, beautiful wear on the wrist. I really enjoy wearing this guy. and this is my most worn piece. So it's got its fair share of dings, not dings, but scratches. I do take care of my pieces, so I've never really dinged it yet, but really enjoy wearing this guy. It's got a cushion style case, so it wears really well on a beads of rice bracelet that I have as well. So overall, I mean, I really like this piece. And so out of all these pieces, which I do have a lot of, I guess only two are more permanent, if at all possible. That would be this guy and this guy. So these two Grand Seikos are probably the staples in my collection, and I think I've always said that. Maybe I think I may have in the past said that this was a permanent piece of my collection because it makes the trilogy, the Grand Seiko trilogy. So this is that trilogy. You got the spring drive, the high beat, and the 9F quartz, all white dials. And I think I used to say that this one was more permanent. I don't know if I actually said it on camera, but these two I've definitely said are keepers. And they are, unless if I really have to sell them, these would go last. But everything else really is up for not for sale, but up for me to move if I need to. So let's see if I can make this a bit neater. There you go, guys. That's the state of the collection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Huh. You don't count G-Shocks. 8. 8 pieces. Oh, that's my wife's. 7. 7 pieces in my collection. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. I know I flipped a lot of pieces, but I think I'm stabilizing myself here. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the next year pans out. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Remember that time is short. Time is limited. And you are worth it. And you are valuable. So I will see you in the next video. And take care. Bye.